The story opens in a vast, quiet, and snow-covered wilderness. A young, lonely boy wanders through the empty landscape, feeling completely lost and disconnected from the world. He doesn't know where he is going or what his purpose is, but his solitude is gently broken when he meets a tiny mole. The mole is enthusiastic, deeply inquisitive, and absolutely obsessed with cake. Despite their vast differences in size and nature, the two instantly form a bond. As they begin to walk together through the cold wild, they talk about their fears, their dreams, and the strange complexity of existence. The conversations between the boy and the mole form the emotional foundation of their journey. The boy asks the mole what he thinks is the biggest waste of time. The mole answers without hesitation, comparing yourself to others. Through these simple, handwritten exchanges, Charlie Mackesy delivers profound psychological truths. The mole teaches the boy that the wilderness can be terrifying, but it is also beautiful, and that navigating the storms of life becomes much easier when you have someone walking right beside you. As they continue their slow walk, the weather begins to turn colder, and the wilderness feels increasingly intimidating. The boy admits that he feels incredibly small in such a massive universe. The mole looks up at him and reminds him that even though he is small, his presence makes a massive difference to the world. Their innocence protects them from the cold, but they both know that they are looking for something more. They are looking for a place where they truly belong, a place they can call home. The first part concludes with the duo standing on the edge of a dark, dense forest. The wind is howling, and the shadows are long. The boy is afraid to move forward, but the mole gently encourages him, pointing out that love and curiosity are stronger than fear. As they take their first cautious steps into the deep woods, they have no idea that their small group is about to expand, and that their next encounter will test their capacity for unconditional kindness and forgiveness. Deep within the silent, shadow-filled forest, the boy and the mole stumble upon a third character, a fox. The fox is not running free. He is caught in a cruel, rusted wire snare pinned to the frozen ground. He is silent, tense, and his eyes are filled with a defensive rage. When the tiny mole approaches him, the fox snarls a bitter warning. "If I weren't trapped, I would kill you." The fox has been hurt by the world, and his only response to pain is to lash out with anger. He expects the boy and the mole to run away, or to mock his helplessness. Instead of running, the mole does something extraordinary. Without a shred of hesitation or judgment, the tiny creature crawls forward and uses his sharp teeth to chew through the wire trap, setting the fox free. The mole chooses radical empathy over fear. Once freed, the fox doesn't attack. Stunned by this unexpected act of kindness, he simply retreats into the thick brush, watching the boy and the mole from a distance. He is a creature wrapped in a heavy armor of silence, too wounded to say thank you, but too moved to cause harm. As the boy, the mole, and now the quiet fox, who follows them like a silent guardian from the shadows, continue their journey, they talk about the nature of hurt. The boy asks why the fox is so quiet. The mole explains that the fox is afraid that if he speaks, he will reveal how broken he feels. They realize that anger is often just a mask that fear wears. Slowly, the warmth of the group begins to melt the fox's icy exterior, proving that kindness doesn't need words to heal a broken spirit. Act 2 comes to a close as the group steps out of the dense forest into a wide, windswept valley. The storm begins to pick up, and the path ahead becomes completely invisible under a fresh blanket of snow. The boy is exhausted, and the mole is too small to walk through the deep drifts. Just when the wilderness feels too overwhelming to conquer, a massive, majestic silhouette appears through the swirling whiteout. A magnificent white horse stands before them, ready to offer the ultimate sanctuary and the deepest wisdom of their journey. With the arrival of the horse, the journey takes on a deeply comforting, almost magical dimension. The horse is massive, gentle, and incredibly patient. She allows the tired boy and the cold mole to climb onto her broad back, while the silent fox walks closely by her side. As they move effortlessly through the deep snowdrift, the horse introduces a new level of emotional depth to their conversations. When the boy, looking up at her immense size, asks, "What is the bravest thing you've ever said?" the horse replies softly, "Help." She explains that asking for help isn't giving up, it's refusing to give up on yourself. As they travel, the horse shares a secret that she has kept hidden out of fear of making others jealous. She possesses magnificent wings and has the ability to fly. However, she prefers to keep her feet on the ground, choosing to walk with her friends rather than soar above them. This revelation teaches the boy that true power doesn't need to be flaunted. It is best used to protect and support those we love. The horse's wings become a beautiful metaphor for the hidden potential inside everyone. The strength we keep locked away until we find a safe space to reveal it. The emotional core of this section tackles the heavy burden of modern anxiety and mental health. The boy confesses that sometimes he feels overwhelmed by a deep, inexplicable sadness, and that he often cries when no one is watching. The horse kneels down, bringing her large head close to his, and tells him that tears are not a sign of weakness, but a sign of immense courage. "Tears fall for a reason," she says, "and they wash away the dust that keeps us from seeing how beautiful we are." In the warmth of her presence, the fox finally edges closer, letting his defensive guard down completely. Act 3 draws to a close as the group reaches the top of a high hill, looking down at a vast, dark valley below. A sudden, violent summer storm breaks across the horizon, painting the sky with lightning. In the past, this sight would have terrified the boy, sending him into a spiral of loneliness. But now, sitting on the back of the horse, with the mole in his hand and the fox resting against his leg, he realizes that the storm cannot touch the fortress of love they have built together. They are ready for the final leg of their journey, the realization of what they have been searching for all along. The storm finally passes, leaving behind a clean, star-filled sky that reflects beautifully off the melting snow. The boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse reach a high ridge overlooking a distant, glowing town. The boy looks down at the lights and whispers with a mixture of hope and sadness, "Look, there is a town. Maybe that is our home. Maybe that is where we belong." They have walked through the entire wilderness looking for a destination, believing that their journey would end the moment they found a physical structure to shield them from the cold. But as they prepare to walk down the hill toward the town, a profound silence falls over the group. The fox stops, looking back at the open wilderness. The mole squeezes the boy's hand, and the horse stands perfectly still. The boy looks at his three strange, beautiful friends and suddenly realizes a truth that fills his heart with overwhelming warmth. He doesn't want to go to the town. He doesn't need a house. He looks up at the horse and says, "Home isn't always a place, is it? I think we are already home." The journey concludes not with a grand arrival, but with a beautiful acceptance of the present moment. The horse nods gently, reminding the boy that love and connection are the only true sanctuaries in a chaotic world. They turn away from the distant lights of the town and decide to set up camp right there on the ridge, under the open sky. The fox curls up close to the fire, the mole gets his long-awaited piece of cake, and the boy rests his head against the horse's soft flank. They have survived the wilderness by becoming a wilderness of support for one another. Charlie Mackesy's masterpiece ends with a powerful, quiet blessing for the viewer. The boy asks the horse for one final piece of advice for navigating the dark road ahead. The horse whispers back, "Always remember you matter, you are loved, and you bring things to this world that no one else can." The camera slowly pulls back, leaving the four friends together in their perfect, quiet circle of warmth. The book closes, leaving the audience with a profound sense of peace and a gentle reminder that no matter how lost we feel, we are always just one act of kindness away from finding our true home.